Hi Taurus, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your May 2020 tarot check for all Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I want to thank all of you who've been watching my channel, subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. You're awesome, and I so appreciate you. If you're new, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, which is about once a week. So I'm doing this. I just did a seasonal check for the months of May, June, July, and August. So you might want to check that out just to get a little bit, a longer perspective on the months to come. And we've had some weekly checks that have been a little hideous, quite frankly. So the seasonal checks were a big relief because the energy definitely seems to be turning in your favor. So here we go. This is for Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is going on for Taurus? May 2020. All right, your current situation is the Fool, and the immediate influence is the Ten of Swords. In your destiny, you have the Five of Wands. In the distant past, the Page of Swords. More recent past, you've got the Emperor. And then coming towards you, you have the Page of Pentacles here. You're represented by the Knight of Cups. The environment around you is the Four of Wands. Your hopes here is the High Priestess, and the outcome is the Star. In the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Cups here. So you have, let's take a look here and just kind of get the energies. You have Aries, you have Taurus, you have Earth, you have Aquarius, Fire, Water, and Air. You have all the elements here. But your current situation is the Fool, and that's all about a fresh, clean slate. This is about a brand new beginning, okay? So if you're saying, yeah, I could use that, then this is probably your reading, I would guess. But with the Fool, it's a zero, okay? It's the beginning of the deck. It is infinite potential. It's like, complete freedom and just complete freedom from thought, not needing to be tied down or chained down to our own thinking or overthinking. It's like freedom from bondage. This is like, I'm ready to just take on the world, move forward, and I'm not going to be stopped, but you're also not worried. You're not in your head about it. And so you've got this Ten of Swords though, as an influence around it. And I think it's more about coming away from an energy that was very negative. Some of you may have had a falling out with a friend who really stabbed you in the back. And I think you're walking away from that and recognizing that, we just went through a hell of a shitstorm, and I'm not going to live like this anymore. I am not going to have people around me that are untrustworthy, that will talk about me, that will slander me. I'm just not going to do that. And I think some of you are really breaking free from something that's bound you for a while. Your destiny in this, this is all about free will, okay? So this is the Five of Wands here. Now, it's an interesting card because it can actually represent youth. It's like kind of supposed to be a mock fight, and it can also be interpreted as group like sporting events, athletics, things like that. For some of you, you may have missed out on a season of something because of this pandemic, and chances are it's going to return. It may be in a different, maybe a little different than it was. I just watched on the news, Denmark is reopening and they've got kids back in school. They've only been out for a month because they were very quick to act. They did the shutdown right away, and when they only had a few hundred cases, and they've had very little disruption because of that. And so they have kids who are I think it's 12 and under are back in school because it's much more difficult to help them remotely. So in any event, I do think this is returning, or some of you, it may be something like where you're engaged in an environment where it's kind of chaotic. I do think that that's part of an energy that's going to be around you for a while. So in the distant past, you may have had a falling out with someone and they were immature. It may be at work. I'm getting that for somebody where it was a work-related thing and it wasn't a good environment, and it was really time to walk away from it because you weren't making as much money as they told you would be. And that was an ongoing thing where it just seemed like, okay, I got hired in and I was told the commissions would be put me in this salary range, and I'm not even close. And, you know, to the point where I'm seeing somebody writing letters about it, kind of like bullet pointed things. And it got to the point where it's like, they have way more time to avoid giving me what they told me than I have time to ask. I'm just going to be done doing this. And like I said, too, for some of you, this is related to that Ten of Swords where you had a falling out with somebody and you're moving free from it. So the more recent past, again, I do feel like there was a conflict here. The Emperor is very stoic. This is not an emotional card. He is not afraid just to tell somebody, we're done. I'm not participating in this. I'm not going to watch a spectacle. And he will just kind of let whirling dervishes whirl and do his own thing. So with this Emperor, I definitely, like I said, feel like you're walking away from a conflict, but you are able to stand up for yourself and able to hold your own ground. He's victorious, okay? The Emperor is in charge. And so I do feel like with that, you're not missing out on anything either. And the energy coming in towards you is absolutely lovely. So by leaving this behind, you get to, you know, walk free, walk forward. For some of you, you've got a new offer coming in, okay? The Page of Pentacles always carries a new offer. And I actually think you're going to be really proud of yourself. I think that you're proud of yourself for making choices that were difficult, that didn't maybe feel the greatest at the time, and that had you kind of up in your head. But the choice to walk away is going to bring you a huge new blessing. So you've got a new opportunity at work that's coming in, but you also have a new opportunity at love. And this person's like very hands-on. They may be some kind of a skilled trade where they own a construction company, or they are able to do even like a hairstylist. I'm getting that for somebody where they're just very good with their hands, but they're really energetic. They're like, it almost feels more like something like a hairstylist or something like that. This person's very high energy. They're fun. They're playful. They like to have a good time. You know, but they're also careful with their money. They're good in business. If it's somebody that owns a business, they're not just, you know, they're not just kind of like devil may care where they're fun, but there's nothing else. It's very one-sided. They're actually I'd say they're the whole enchilada. So you got love coming in with this Knight of Cups. This is you. And I think you may end up, you know, putting yourself out there more than you have in a long time. And again, I mean, who meets new people right in the middle of a pandemic? I mean, that's not exactly a great time to meet new people, but we're coming out of that. And with this, you have a very stable offer coming in here. You know, this is all about, you know, setting things up in a way that are going to last. But they definitely want more with you. And like I said, they're financially stable, but they're also generous. They're in tune with themselves. You know, they may even get you to do I feel like a new hobby or something for some of you, where maybe they get you into biking or something, not like serious competitive, but like just taking bike rides and doing things that you haven't done before. It is a little bit slower moving though. Again, we're coming out of, you know, a huge shutdown worldwide. But you've got the energy and the environment around you is represented by long-term stability and happiness with this Four of Wands. Again, this is all about wedding ceremonies. So when I say this is major league, I'm talking about this could be a potential life partner. And I think for some of you, you've been wanting that for a long time. You know, when I look forward into the Star card, there's a feeling of renewal there, but there's also a feeling of really feeling settled, feeling like finally, this is finally happening. So with this Four of Wands, you've got, you know, it's a match that'll be the right foundation. It'll be the right thing for you, where they're going to be able to understand your work life and the pace that you go at. And, you know, it's all about bringing manifestations into the 3D world. Okay, so when you see this card, it's about really a great time to visualize, make a vision board, get yourself into meditating, and then visualize a little bit after the meditation ends, just to really feel that vibration of what that would feel like. And then you have this high priestess here. So she's a 2 here, but this comes out when your guides are telling you to trust yourself. Okay, so you're getting a message here from Spirit that you can trust yourself and trust your own intuition. Like I said, I think before at work, you may have been feeling like you were misled, and you were right about that. They knew what they were doing. For whoever that's for, they knew, and they were just kind of holding you off because they really didn't care. Not great people to be working with because you can't trust them. But you're not going to be fooled. The high priestess here figures people out, and the truth is coming out on every level. So I definitely think like I said, if you've been dealing with somebody who talked about you and that kind of thing, you're probably going to hear more than you care to. And I guess I'd say I just wouldn't live there. Take what you need and leave the rest. So you end with Aquarius energy here with the star. And again, I said before, it's renewal. It's a time of really taking great care of yourself in May. And I think that it's going to carry you for a while. This too, she's the goddess of truth. So it's interesting that you have the high priestess right next to her. Because again, I think you're one who speaks the truth. It goes beyond just living my truth, but we're talking speaking the truth too. We're talking walking the walk, making that decision that I'm going to be true to myself. And that's the other thing too. Just be careful about betraying yourself. I think with this job thing I keep getting, there was a betrayal to self with that, knowing I was duped here. How do I get this rectified, not getting much resolution and feeling like kind of a fool, like I was fooled. So with the star card, it's going to be time to take care of yourself, to heal. And with the 7 of Cups, you have options. This is also from Spirit too, just telling you to take off those rose-colored glasses. Don't be disillusioned. And I think for you too, you're getting a lot of wisdom from the experiences that you've had. We can either be wounded or we can be wiser. And I think you're going to go the wiser route and kind of use that to, make sure that in a job situation, things are as they seem. But I definitely feel like overall, May is a time to get the truth, to have things come to light. And it's definitely a time where love's coming towards you. So let's hear from Louise Hay, a Law of Attraction megastar here. These are Life Loves You cards. I open my mind and say yes to life. Life is inviting you to experience a whole new level of happiness, healing, prosperity, success, and love. We just have to let it in, okay? Sometimes people leave comments that are saying this never happens for them. Well, they've already decided it won't. They have made a decision and they are connected vibrationally to lack. So there's no way it can manifest. You have to get away from that. Even people who, click the dislike button, which I get few of, but it just makes me shake my head. I think, why would you attach yourself to something you don't like? So look around you. Find the things that are pleasing to you in your environment. Focus on those. Radiate love and joy, and it will come back to you. So I love you so much, Taurus, and I'll be back again next week for a weekly tarot check.